moves by the Fed and other major central banks to raise interest rates after a long period of keeping them low should not be disruptive to the global economy, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said Tuesday in remarks prepared for a financial conference in Zurich. Powell said that the role U.S. monetary policy plays in driving global financial, conditio, and capital flows is often exaggerated. The pickup in both global growth and commodity prices have played bigger roles in the recent recovery of capital flows to emerging market economies than any policy moves by central banks. He said monetary stimulus by the Fed and other advanced economies played a relatively limited role in the surge of capital flows to emerging market economies in recent years. Powell said there is good reason to think the normalization of monetary policies in advanced economies should continue to prove manageable for emerging economies after keeping its benchmark interest rate at a record low near zero for 7 years following the 2008 financial crisis. The Fed began gradually increasing the rate in December. It made a sixth quarter-point move in March. Many private economists believe the Fed will raise rates again in June and will raise a total of 3 or 4 times this year. In his remarks, Powell said he did not dismiss the risks as the Fed, the European Central Bank, and other major central banks raise rates. Some investors and institutions may not be well positioned for a rise in interest rates, even one that markets broadly anticipate, he said, and of course, future economic conditio may surprise us, as they often do, but he stressed that the Fed planned to do what it could to minimize disruption by communicating policy changes clearly and well in advance. In 201 remarks by then, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke triggered what was update hypertension. Investors feared that the U.S. Central Bank would start trimming or tapering its program of buying bonds sooner than expected, and U.S. bond rates temporarily surged, sending shockwaves through a number of emerging market economies. The Fed was using its bond purchases to hold down long-term interest rates. Bernanke and other Fed officials realized they had botched the communication of future Fed moves, and since that time, Fed officials have been more cautious when commenting about future moves. In his remarks Tuesday, Powell indicated the Fed would seek to avoid repeating the 2013